Okay, my phone ran out of storage space, so I lost about 5 minutes of footage. But all I did is I was keep cleaning, and I pulled this pin. This hinge pin was bent, and it wasn't in all the way. So all I did is I pulled that out, and I straightened it with the hammer on the concrete. That's pretty straightforward. I went and freed up a bunch of space on my phone though. I deleted apps and all kinds of old videos and photos that I don't need. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I need to clean this hand wheel. So clean this hand wheel. Yeah, there's a wheel on here. And yeah, essentially on the back side of it. I love these old machines. They're freaking awesome. They are so cool. Right. Love how they start to shine again. Take the old cruddy thing and starts to shine again. Amazing. Reason I got into these old sewing machines. Hold on. Making sure it's still going. Okay. Sorry. Just having flashbacks to when it stopped. Anyways, reason I got into these old sewing machines is because, well, I was into shoemaking and making medieval shoes and moccasins and stuff. And at first, I was hand sewing leather, and it's really difficult to hand sew leather. Even with leather needles, it is quite difficult. Like you need to like put your work in a clamp and then use like pliers to push the needle through, and it's physically demanding. It takes a lot of work just on the hand wheel. Not done yet. Um, so I started to think, wow, I really need a machine. Hold on, I'm gonna pause the video and because I'm gonna get a flathead screwdriver. Just a second. Okay. So to pick up where I left off with my story is essentially I wanted to make a lot of pairs for people. I didn't just want to make a few. I wanted to make like as many as I could for people and kind of make a thing out of it. Uh, Turn a hobby into something that maybe I could make money from and get good at. No shame in that, by the way, if that's your goal. Um, and so some, I had plastic sewing machines. I think I bought one from a thrift store. Uh, it was actually a Singer slant needle sewing machine, and well, it did work okay at first on thinner leather and different type of canvas cloth and everything, but it really didn't cut the cheese for like really sewing leather, um, especially with multiple layers and stuff. So then, got a jumping spider. So then I thought, well, actually, I'll say this. My friend Chris Carpenter actually told me I should get one of those really old sewing machines, and I totally blew it off. I was like, no, I want to get a brand new sewing machine because I was looking at these Singer heavy duty models that you can get. That's the name of them. They are not actually heavy duty. That's just what they say on them. So for about $150 I'd spent, and I got one of those. I was living out of my van at the time, here in Appleton, Wisconsin, and basically broke the machine. Like what I was trying to sew, it broke like internal gears and stuff. I threw that machine away, and I actually stopped uh, shoemaking stuff for a while. And eventually, um, I was certain that I needed an industrial sewing machine if I was going to actually make shoes with you know and make it easier and faster and less stressful. So I did. I spent $500 on an Adler German-made sewing industrial sewing machine. So then, when I got it, as you can guess, it was really heavy, cast iron, whatnot. So, but I still wasn't into these old machines yet. I didn't know. So I didn't know the value in these old sewing machines. So a couple of years goes by, and I have that industrial sewing machine, and I wasn't really doing much with it. But I still had all my stuff for doing shoemaking, and I was planning on getting into it. I just was taking my time with it, not trying to get too stressed out about it, because I was actually getting stressed out a lot trying to make shoes. Um, just because it's very difficult. If you ever try it, it's not easy. Uh, and you have to be very, very patient if you're going to do shoemaking. Um, and so, one day when I was working for Amazon, I was driving, delivering up in, was that Bonduelle, I think. Either Bonduelle or Shawano, and there's a thrift store. I think it was in Shawano. There's a thrift store there, and on my break, I stopped on my half-hour lunch break. I stopped at that antique mall. It wasn't a thrift store; it was an antique mall, and I seen this black sewing machine, this little black sewing machine, and it was a Necky Boo, but I still have. And if you know about sewing machines, the Necky Boo is probably the best sewing machine that money can buy. It's Italian engineered in 1951 when it was made, something like that, 1950, early 50s, let's say. So I actually was looking at it, and I like I said, I already had the industrial at this point, right? So I'm looking at this little sewing machine. I'm thinking like, man, it kind of looks dainty, it doesn't look like much, but I'm looking at it, right? And it's $40, and I get down, I'm looking real close at it, and it's not the same shape as this. It's kind of more box shaped, a little more square shape to it, but it's all metal. It's all cast iron, just like these. And so I picked it up because I was like, wait, this is cast iron. So I picked it up, to check. I'm like, holy shit, it was almost as heavy as my industrial sewing machine, and it blew my mind. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude. And then I just had a realization right there. Because I added the fact that, well, my industrial sewing machine sews leather and canvas and thick materials like it's just like it's easy, you know? I don't know if I'm going to edit that out. I'm not sure. I'm not monetized anyway. It's not a big deal. So, then I picked it up and then I set it down. And I was like, okay, I got to get going. I started walking towards the door without the machine. I left it there. I got to the counter and I just was like, you know what? Let me just go get that. And then so I just got it. I turned around, picked it up, bought it right there, took it home. And when I threaded that thing up and started sewing leather with it, and saw how beautiful and perfect of stitches that it made, I didn't even realize that different machines could make a better stitch than other machines. But it's all in their engineering. I'm not sure how it worked, you know. I'm not an engineer or anything, but I know it's all metal. And if it's all metal, there's no plastic gears. When the plastic gears are in these machines that you can buy at Walmart and whatnot, the plastic has give to it, so it bends and breaks. The metal is more rigid, and these old machines are more directly driven. There's like one camshaft right here on this main shaft that runs through here. It's just like it's like a at the end of it. There's just it's like a dowel on there. Maybe I'll show you sometime. Well, I can show you right now, actually. So, let me move the camera instead of the whole table. No, actually, it's raining. If I do that, I'll just move the table. So, just because this will only take a second to explain this, and then you'll understand what I mean. Okay, more than 1 second, but you see what I'm saying. And then I'll stop my rambling, I guess. Or actually, maybe I won't. I'll make you suffer through my rambling. Oops. So right here, oh shit. Right there, it's just a dowel that comes off of this round plate that's connected to this main shaft. And on it, and then this V-shaped thing here connected to the needle bar has a cutout in it, and it has this bearing that sits over that little dowel that sticks out. So as it turns, boom, it's like here, and then it's here, and then it's here. And see how it just, well, actually, I'm going the opposite way. Go right here, and then here, comes over here. Very directly driven. There's fewer parts. By the way, while I have this open, I'm gonna oil the inside of it. Highly recommend doing that. Taking this cover off and get the lint out. I didn't even check if this was in frame, but I'm pretty sure it is. But anyways, get the lint out. Because that lint, the dust that builds up in there, it takes a long time for the dust to really build up inside of here, because this hole right here is the only hole which it can come through. So, and there's a tiny little area right here, but that dust will kind of get right here on the moving parts, and it makes it stick a little worse than. Anyway, so you clean that dust out first, and then oil it. And like I say, right here, I'm going to get it on that bearing. Boom. That's beautiful. Yes. Yes. Right there. And now you want to come back here and lubricate this cam, because there's a roller cam in here which is connected. Wait, what is it? Can't remember what that's connected. It's connected to. What am I talking about? Oh, wait. This. The what is that called? I know what that's called, but I can't think of it right now. But basically, there's a little cutout on that wheel, and it's connected to this, which makes this move up and down. Yeah, so this is sticking pretty bad down here, so I'm gonna have to oil underneath of it. Well, now that I'm basically done cleaning the machine, for now, I'm actually gonna start oiling it, oiling the actual moving parts. The oil that I've used so far has just been for cleaning it. So now I'm gonna actually start applying oil to all the moving parts. And I'll just put this back. Double check we're still recording. Okay, we're good. Alright, I'm gonna move the camera back over here. Good. Straighten it out a little bit. So I clean this backside. Oh yeah, and then just to finish my story on these old sewing machines, how I got into them. That was it. I found that Necky. I messed around with it, saw how well it sewed, and then from there I started actively seeking them out because I just kind of thought to myself, well, if this basic home sewing machine that it just is older, so it's all cast iron before plastic. These are just home sewing machines. They're not industrial sewing machines, but they're all metal, just like an industrial machine is. And the way that they sew compared to a plastic machine, the way that they sew through the thicker materials and leather is much more like an industrial sewing machine. It handles it way better. Much better. So yeah, I started seeking them out, and I was going to antique malls and thrift stores every single chance that I could get, and I actually started finding them. A lot of times I would just find the machine head, no table. Okay, I'm gonna actually start oiling this. So, and I was finding them for like $20, $15, $10. And I just started buying every one of them that I could find. I just got obsessed with it, kind of. So, that's how I got into the old sewing machines. Long pause, huh? And I collected for several years like that. And I basically kind of stopped doing the shoemaking stuff and started collecting sewing machines. Whatever, I don't know why. It is what it is. That is not supposed to lift up like that, but there's no. I noticed this earlier, so that's why I just now lifted it up, because there's no nut on this mount, and on this mount, it's actually the metal is broken off of the part right here where it's like right there. That metal's broken off, so this pin actually just. Anyways, that's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. Even though this table is real old, I want to set it like this, but I actually don't want to scratch up the table. If I set it on there, see, it might scratch up the table. So what I'm going to do is pause. I'm going to set it over on this table, this workbench. And actually, I'll just move the camera, because this will be easier. I'll move the camera instead of pausing and then restarting it. I'll lower it down. See if I have any camera working skills here. Not really. I try. So yeah, underneath of this, see all those moving parts? There's actually little holes, little oiling ports, right there, right here, camshaft, right here. You just want to lubricate every kind of part that has some kind of metal on metal contact, whether it's a rotating or if it's just a flat piece moving up and down, like right here. And essentially, I already know this machine is gonna move really good now, just based on my experience from other sewing machines. Because this one already had pretty good movement to begin with. And then just work it. I'll take this bullet shuttle bobbin out. Or will I? Oh crap. Yeah, I won't. Just a second. How do I? It ain't rusted in there, is it? No. What the heck? How come that's... Is this the right bobbin? Cement coat. It is the right. Okay. That's weird. Try moving it from over here. There we go. Set that aside so the freaking thing. Okay. Yeah, nice. So then, other than that, on the back side, I'm making this. I gotta make sure this is recording still. Take a drink of some seltzer water. Stay hydrated. Super important. So this is an inspection plate. I love these inspection plates on the Fiddle based machines. See, it's an actual cast iron piece. Wow, this one has like a number written with. That's different. Anyways, see that the floral design on it? How beautiful that is. I just got lucky on this machine. So then inside of here, you can see all these moving parts. Any kind of metal on metal contact areas. There's like 3 different shafts that move onto other shafts and stuff. A lot of people say like that you don't need much, and that is true. So at your own discretion, however much sewing machine oil you want to use that's your own discretion. For me, I use a little more than probably is necessary. Then that's not even really an issue. A little bit of extra oil is not going to hurt anything. Okay, so now that the machine has had a basic cleaning and oiling, and this is not as far as I'll go with this machine because I'll show you how to clean up the metal, get the rust off of the metals and stuff like that at some point. And then, like I said, I'll probably there's something I'm thinking about for doing the slide plates, but I've got to tinker around with that before I really commit to saying what I'm gonna do. Basically, I'm gonna make my own slide plates, and I don't know if there's a video on that. I don't know if anyone else has done a video on that before, but I don't really care either. I'll still do it, but that was the idea. So we'll see. We will see. So yeah, I'm gonna start on the table. Okay. This area down in here is just full of crap. Full of crap. Totally full of crap. See this? See this? All this debris in there. I don't even know what it is. Just 100 years of dirt, dust, and whatever. But I might as well get it out of there. Nasty. Oh, wow. First, I'm going to get that cobweb out of there, but this actually has a piece of wood in it that swivels out to make the leaf stay up. So that's pretty cool. So there is some damage here. It's kind of, the laminate is kind of coming off. I'll show you if I can. I probably should take this off of the stand to be easier. Yeah, I'm going to take this off the camera off of the stand, the tripod, so I don't have to readjust the legs. So see what I mean? There, now it focused. See how this is all kind of coming up and everything? That's a laminated surface that's starting to come up. So what I'm actually going to do is, after I clean it, what I'm going to do, I'm thinking about doing, I don't know if it's going to work, I never tried it before, but I have some wood glue, and if I can carefully lift these pieces up and put some glue underneath of them, just get some wood glue underneath of them, and then I'll set something flat on here, something that's like laser flat, right? Set it down, and then I'll put a kettlebell, like a 15-pound kettlebell or two on top of that, and that'll hold it all down while it's drying. And then I'll come in and I might actually glue a piece of wood that's the same thickness as this laminate. I'll just make a little patch, right? I'll just make a little sliver for that, glue that in. Anyways, that's for a future project, but today I'm just cleaning it. So if it wasn't raining outside, I would put this camera from the other direction, but at least from this direction you get to see my Firebird, and this is a longer video, so if you're sticking around, it is what it is. So here's where I'm going to use the water, is on the table. I got pretty much most of the water wringed out of that, and I'm just going to, immediately I'm getting dirt. Immediately getting dirt. Just going to get that dirt off of it, get that surface dirt and dust off of it. And get the oil out of there. Not even sure if it's really going to come out. I mean, I hope it comes out. We'll see. Okay, I need some more water. I hope I got enough pictures, and I hope that video is sufficient enough when I first got it to give a real good representation of before and after. What I'm doing here, I'm just scraping off this old, dried up, I don't know, grease or oil or whatever it is that's caked on right here. Just carefully using my flathead screwdriver like a chisel and just, yeah, just get off. Maybe go with the grain, probably be better. In case if I am scratching it, it's not like it really matters. It's up to the individual, whatever you decide. Whatever level of depth you want to go to with whatever project. If you have a project like this and you're working on yours, give you an idea of the level of depth that I'm going to with mine. I'm actually gonna grab a little bit of soap for this because there's kind of grease and oil on it. So just got some green dish soap. I'm only gonna just put a little bit in the water. That'll help take up the grease and the oils and that kind of stuff. You can tell there's a little blob of something right here. It's just a little blob of something. I think it's silicone or a caulk or maybe vulcanized rubber. I'm not sure. But there was one right here and it's missing. So in order for the machine to sit level, I'm gonna get something right there too. I'm gonna figure something out for that. I'll switch over to this rag. It's easier to hold on to, a little bit bigger. This leaf almost looks like it has, oh, I know what happened, I think this might, yeah, this thing just got left outside and rained on. Wow, glad I saved this thing. What was that? Oh, that was a leaf. I thought it was a rabbit or a squirrel. That would have been more likely. There are so many rabbits and squirrels that live in this neighborhood. It's kind of cool. What's not cool is whatever freaking rodents are living inside of the freaking walls in this old house that I'm renting. Dude, makes my house smell like crap. Like bad, dude. Just like piss and shit. And just like, it just smells like piss and shit in my house. It's terrible. Because of the freaking rodents. But I've done a ton of work trying to keep them out. Last year, it's like they must have found another way in because it stinks again this year. So. Probably just supposed to be glued down in there. I'll re-glue it down in there at some point. That'll help me clean it stuff. By the way, the antique sewing machine community on Facebook is great. There are just thousands of other people that are also into these old machines, and it's, I guess, without Facebook there wouldn't really be, I don't know how that many people who are interested in one subject could come together and share their pictures and questions and pictures and questions, and just talk about these old machines. I guess that's the thing, is like, is it a double-edged sword? I mean, it's like, on one hand, yeah, Facebook and apps and stuff, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of turning people into their phone, like making people look at their phones more and stuff, which is fine to an extent, but you get caught up in that trap, man, you'd be wasting a lot of your time on that. If it's a waste of your time. If not, then it's not. But I gotta say, the groups on these old machines, it's pretty great. Although I do have a Singer, a Model 25-51, where I couldn't find any information on it. Well, I could find a little bit of information, but not anybody else who had ever posted pictures of their own. Just ended up being like a super rare machine, or I couldn't find any other examples. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up finding the Singer Model 24 group, because it's a chain stitch sewing machine. It looks just like the Model 24. By the way, comment below, what do you guys think? Should I build my own drawers for this? Or should I just take these hangers the rest of the way off and just finish it with no drawers? I would like to actually get some input on that. I'm thinking, obviously, the quickest and fastest thing is just remove those and finish it with no drawers. If I wanted to kind of put minimal effort into it and then maybe sell it. Although I don't know if I really want to part with this machine, because it's kind of one that it's not easy to find this one at all. When they do come up, they go fast, and they're usually over $100. Whereas, I've only got 20 bucks into this. So I might keep this, or maybe I'll post it for like 200, because if somebody actually wants to buy it for that much, I'll let it go. But I'd probably be sad to see it go. Like Singer 201s, I've sold a couple of those for 200 bucks, and they sell quick, even at that price, which is kind of surprising, but they're kind of one of the more sought after. I'm getting a little bit of rain in here. Oh. Alright, I'm going to try to wrap this up. Just kind of get this might end up just being a longer video. It is what it is. So let me see, because the only other thing I want to do now is I want to clean up the irons. So they're just covered in dust and whatnot, but I guess you don't really need to see that. So I'm just going to continue the same thing. You're watching me clean this tabletop off. Um, all I'm going to do is just basically, I'm going to take those drawer hangers off for now, set them aside. And then I'm going to clean off the irons. And then I'll get I'll turn it back on when I get some glue under those and set something on it, and then I'll just do a quick walk around maybe. If not, then this will be the end of the video. So thanks for checking it out. I'm gonna try to put up more videos doing content kind of like this, or um, you know, just because this is just, I mean, it's what I'm into, so this is what it would be. All right. So yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this, consider subscribing. You know, stay around, and because I will be making more content. So yeah, have a great day, rest of your day.